Hey beloved, thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that you would subscribe. I'll appreciate that so very much. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please do share if you would like to, and please do give me a thumbs up. The more thumbs up you give is the more opportunity others would have to see this video and hopefully be encouraged and strengthened as a result of it. Tonight, I want to talk about the whole issue of what is in your circle. We all have circles. We all have people who are close to us, who have access to us, who could speak into our ears, who could influence our choices. We all have people in our lives who know the ins and outs of our own lives, what we like, what we dislike, how we feel, what goes on in our emotions. These are people who are in our circle, the ones who are the closest to us. What do you have in there? I believe the people who are in that circle that is closest to us can be put into those two categories. You're either a tool or you're a weapon. Now, tools are instruments or implements that are used to create. Tools make. Tools recover. Bring back to life things that were dead and discarded. Tools generally help us to work. That's what tools do. What are weapons? Weapons are generally used in defense, to bring destruction, to demolish. Weapons can be very violent in the way they attack or in the way that they are used. So what do you have in your circle? What? How do we identify people who are considered tools? Well, I'll give you a few pointers that I have jotted down. Tools support you. Tools encourage and cheer you on even when you don't feel like you can do this, like you can make this. Tools get excited when you're progressing. Tools celebrate with you even when you're basking in success. They celebrate, they cheer you on. Tools always have their ears ready to listen to you without judging you. Tools know how to keep your secrets if you have such, and they know about it. They know how to keep your secrets. Tools generally know how to just support you and push you on to see you fulfill whatever it is that you've been created to fulfill in life. What do weapons do? Weapons pull you down. Weapons hate to see you succeed. Weapons gossip you. Weapons sabotage you. That's a big one for a weapon. A weapon loves to sabotage. Weapons love to see you hurt. Weapons love to see you bleed. And they love to see you bleed in every aspect of your being, be it emotionally, physically, relationally, financially. Weapons like to see you hurt. Weapons always like to take the praise for your accomplishment. Weapons take, and usually they have nothing to give to you. Weapons are generally very jealous people. They want what you have. They want to be like you. They like your special gifting and skills and abilities that they weren't given. And usually they're so dead centered on focusing on you and your accomplishment and your gifting and your abilities that they tend to miss the mark as to what have I been called to do. Weapons are extremely competitive people. Very competitive. They always want to appear to be ahead of you. They always want to show you that I'm above and you're down. Weapons are fake. Weapons liquidate lives. They finish lives. They cancel out lives. They cancel out purpose. They cancel out destiny. A weapon doesn't want to see you be anybody, and they don't want to see you go anywhere. And they will use their influence and or their power to make sure that doesn't happen. When a weapon is locked onto you, it's like laser. When they lock onto you, they just keep releasing bullets until you're annihilated. And in some cases, literally. In other cases, just killing your vision and your purpose, putting a spoke in your wheel, preventing progress, momentum. Weapons are very destructive and extremely violent. Weapons don't like to see you happy. No. No. If you're sad, that's when they're happy. They poke hole in your plans. And don't tell them, hush. Don't tell. Don't tell them what you're about. Don't tell them how you're progressing in whatever area it is. They will seek ways to poke holes in your plans. They love to damage your reputation. Weapons go out and they whisper things about you, lies about you, just to get people to turn their backs from you. Weapons are extremely dangerous. Weapons are very violent in the way they go about fulfilling their task. They're very manipulative. And they would railroad you and you don't even know what's going on. So you really need to pay attention to your circle. I have found that in my time, I've had a lot of experiences dealing with tools and weapons in my circle, dealing with people who really, truly disliked me and everything that I was about. And it didn't matter how I tried. And many times we keep trying to just show them, listen, I am ready and willing to let all of us move on together. They don't want you to go anywhere, period. Many of them, that's their mission in life. That's their purpose, to make sure you go nowhere. And so I think this is a time in 2019, the second week of 2019, that we need to really begin to assess our circle. And yes, some weapons can mask themselves as tools. They do. And so we need to be very aware of our environment. We need to be very discerning, intuitive, and very discerning. We have to believe our spirit and what it's saying to us. Weapons are extremely deceitful, and they're like chameleons. They can change and they can switch up depending on their environment and the conditions that they're on at the time. Weapons kill. Tools create. Tools recover. And some tools can become weapons. And probably they started off as weapons, but were masking as tools. So many times we really have to just sit back, take a step back, pull back, so that we have broader vision. That's what stepping back does. It gives you broader vision, like a wide lens. That's what stepping back sometimes does. And just get quiet. And we will be able to see better, because we can become clouded when people are around us in too many large of a number, we can become clouded and distracted. But step back and assess conversations, assess different interactions. That's one of the things I really like to do, to assess interactions that I've had, particularly those that had to do with people that I have to work with or work together with to accomplish a task. Always like to assess and think back on what was said and who said it and in what context it was said. So my encouragement to you tonight is to really do a forensic on your circle in 2019. Weapons oppress and depress you. They weigh you down with all of their burdens. But when it's time to hear you, they're always busy and have something else to do. So in 2019, my encouragement is do a forensic. Take a fine-tooth comb and comb through your circle. And when you find weapons, you throw them out. And I must tell you, some weapons have to be dealt with swiftly. Some weapons, you just take your time with them, but you know what your plan is. And when you find tools, they're far and many. But when you find them, work with them. Reciprocate. Support them as they support you. I cannot remember, and I've been living for a number of decades, and I cannot remember, had a lot of encounters, numerous encounters with weapons, laughing with you but stabbing you in your back, laughing with you but watching you bleed. Oh, and this is an important point that you must take note of. No one could be friend to two enemies. It never works. It never works. Nobody who's a tool would be happy to be friends with two people who are enemies. These are things you have to watch. And if that person is not trying to resolve and hopefully bring resolution to those two enemies, then you watch them. That's a dangerous person. It's a weapon. Get rid of weapons in 2019. Take your fine-tooth comb. Do a post-mortem. And you will find them. And this last point, my mom always told me growing up that it is not what the big things that people do. It's the little things that they do that you must pay attention to. Because the little things declares very clearly what their intentions are as it relates to you. So for example, so I grew up with that always in my mind. I'm not bothered about big things that happen. The little sneaky things that are done are the things that I go, oh, I'm watching that. I have to watch this. I'm not going to judge it quickly, but I'll watch it. Because if they keep doing it over and over again, and you keep pretending like it's not happening, then something is wrong with you. Really wrong with you. Little things. So for example, if I have someone in my circle who has information that can benefit me, that can help me, and never tells me about it, oh, that's a little thing. It appears little, but it's huge in my book. And most of the times I handle it swiftly. So I'm telling you, think about your tools and think about your weapons. Tools salvage or saves souls. And weapons They liquidate lives. They finish you. Please assess your circle. If you're going to progress, if you're going to forge on and accomplish all you've been created to do, then you must, in 2019 and at the beginning, not at the middle or the end, at the beginning of 2019, get rid of weapons. Their only intent is to finish you. Finish your vision. Finish your purpose. Finish up your plans. Oh, they're wicked. Weapons are wicked. Weapons are destructive. I've seen many weapons, and I've never seen one of them become a tool. Never. Usually, they're fixed in their position. Weapons, sabotage, manipulative, underhand, tricky, wicked. I have never seen a weapon become a tool, and vice versa. Never. And I've seen many, many weapons, and I've seen a few tools. And this last point, when you find some weapons, when you identify them, you keep them around. And why do you keep them around? Simple. They have an expiry date, but until such a time, you ride on them until you get to where you need to go. Sometimes we need weapons around us too, for that purpose. So thank you for listening. I pray that I've said something that has touched you. I pray I've said something to you that will encourage you tonight. And don't be afraid. When you find weapons, don't be afraid. You have to think about it. It's either you or it's them. Who do you want it to be? When you find weapons, be decisive. And in being decisive, it's either you get rid of them immediately or you ride on them until you get to where you need to go, because they might have something wrapped up in them that you need for your next move. I pray that your next move is going to be great. I pray that your next move would be very progressive. And I pray that you can keep the focus, the resilience, and the passion in your next move. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the evening, afternoon, whatever time you're viewing this video. Just do enjoy the rest of that time. Thank you again for giving me a thumbs up. If you like the video, please continue the conversation. I would love to hear from you, love to hear about your experiences. I would love to hear what you would add to this discussion or take away from it. So please do comment and let us have a conversation. Please do like. Thank you so much, and do enjoy. Thank you.